Islamic tradition holds that over 124,000 prophets have been sent to guide humanity. Yet within the text of the Quran, only 25 of these men are explicitly named. These were ordinary humans, men who lived within families and worked in trades, chosen for a singular mission: to call their societies back to the worship of one God. To understand the scope of this mission, we have to look at the map. By plotting these 25 names across modern-day Egypt, Palestine, Iraq, and Arabia, we can trace the actual footprint of these prophets across the ancient world. Overlaying these locations reveals a recurring sequence, prophetic figures appearing at the precise intersections where ancient empires were most established. The chronicle begins with Adam, the first human and prophet. According to Islamic tradition, he was the one who established the foundation of the Kaaba in the Valley of Mecca. Centuries later, Idris, known for his wisdom in early sciences and astronomy, became the first to use the pen to record knowledge, attempting to guide a humanity that was slowly drifting into idolatry. By the time of Nuh, or Noah, polytheism had become the foundation of Mesopotamian society in modern-day Iraq. Nuh spent 950 years preaching to these people, enduring their mockery and constant rejection. After nearly a millennium of refusal, the warning ended. A massive flood reshaped the region, acting as a divine reset for civilization. The survivors on the ark became the new foundation of the human race. From Nuh's 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, the map of the world began to fill again, branching into the diverse nations of Africa, Europe, and Asia. This makes Nuh the second father of humanity, establishing the bloodlines that every modern person traces back to that single group of believers. As post-flood societies regained their wealth, many fell back into the same patterns of arrogance. In Yemen, the people of Ad built towering structures and dominated trade, prompting Prophet Hud to warn them of their impending collapse. Further north in Saudi Arabia, the people of Thamud used their advanced technology to carve homes directly into the mountains. When they defied Prophet Saleh's message, their mountain cities were leveled by a violent earthquake. The timeline reaches a pivotal moment with Abraham, in Babylon. He challenged the state-sponsored idolatry of his time by physically destroying the city's stone idols, sparing only the largest one to prove his point. Abraham survived being thrown into a massive fire and eventually migrated toward Palestine and Egypt, establishing new routes for monotheism along the Mediterranean coast. This migration turned Ibrahim into the central patriarch of the prophetic tradition, creating the foundation for every major monotheistic faith that exists today. Ibrahim's legacy physically split the map through his 2 sons, Ishmael and Ishaq. The first branch follows Ishmael, who settled in Mecca and helped his father rebuild the Kaaba. He became the ancestor of the Arab tribes. The second branch follows Ishaq, who remained in Palestine and became the father of the Bani Israel, the children of Israel. At the same time, Ibrahim's nephew Lut was sent to the Dead Sea region to confront a system of organized social oppression and assault that had completely corrupted the cities of the plain. This divergence between Ishmael in Arabia and Ishaq in Palestine established the spiritual and geopolitical borders that defined the next several thousand years of history. The Israelite branch eventually moved into Egypt through Joseph, who rose from slavery to become a high-ranking official, guiding the country through a massive famine. Generations later, the Israelites were enslaved, leading to the rise of Musa and Harun, who confronted the Pharaoh and demanded their freedom. After the miraculous crossing of the sea, Musa led his people to Mount Tor in the Sinai, where he received the divine revelation of the Torah. The Israelites eventually reached their peak under the prophet kings Dawood and Suleiman, who ruled from Jerusalem and built a kingdom that was unmatched in its wealth and architectural scale. As the Golden Age faded, a succession of prophets, including Ayub, Yunus, Zachariah, and Yahya, were sent to reform the people across the Levant and Mesopotamia. This Israelite era culminated with Isa, or Jesus. Despite his miracles and the revelation of the gospel, he was rejected by his own people. The Quran teaches that he was raised to the heavens rather than being crucified. With the rejection of Isa, the era of the Israelite prophets concluded, and the focus of the prophetic cycle returned to the long-dormant branch of Ismail in Arabia. The geographic focus shifts back to the Arabian Peninsula, specifically to the lineage of Ismail that had remained in Mecca for thousands of years. In 570 CE, Muhammad was born in Mecca. He faced years of persecution before migrating to Medina to establish the first Islamic state. Unlike the prophets who came before him to specific nations or tribes, Muhammad was sent as the final messenger for the entirety of humanity. He left behind the Holy Quran, which Islamic tradition holds as the only uncorrupted, permanent miracle remaining on earth today. Muhammad's arrival finalized the cycle, confirming the exact same message of monotheism that had started with Adam at the very beginning of human history. This map tracks a sequence of guidance that spans thousands of years, moving from the river valleys of Mesopotamia to the palaces of Egypt and the trade routes of Arabia. In Islam, these 25 men are not seen as the founders of competing or contradictory faiths. They are a single, unbroken brotherhood who endured systemic rejection and immense hardship to pass the torch of truth across the entirety of our history.